It is the best show in town. It is the best LGBTQIA show. So darling, why haven't you subscribed? Monday to Thursday, bringing you breaking news wahala. On Friday, sex, education. And Saturday, burning questions. You know, all those questions you've been thinking of asking. Saturday is the day for you, darling. Ask your questions about religion, your questions about what you want to know about us, your question about anything. You can access anything on Saturdays doing burning questions. And you know one thing, you could to be the lucky winner to win our giveaways on Saturdays. And on Sundays, to crown it all, we have the market woman and shade girl. So darling, why do you want to miss out on all these interesting things? Help this channel by clicking the subscribe button.
Hello. So this year started in Wow Lens. For those of you that watched my last video for last year, So the next day after posting that video, the first of the year, I got this email from this certain someone I was in a relationship with, saying, I'm this, I'm that. But what's stuck out for me, that what I'm trying to share, what I want to share right now, is this person said I isolated her from her people so I could abuse and manipulate her. And I was just thinking right now, wait, this person used to be in my studio apartment. She would leave her 3-bedroom apartment in Lagos, come to my studio apartment, and I'll be wondering, I'll be asking, yo, babe, you will leave your AC and be in my heat. I will even be fanning her with hand fan. I wrote post about it on Instagram.
And today on our breaking news, it's this story about AMARA. It has been trending, it has been buzzing, but now it is on breaking news wahala, and we're going to talk about it. For those who don't know what the story is, just stick around. We're going to be taking the story very soon, but without an introduction of who we are, I'm Marvelous Achafu Kelechi, host of Kibu Talk Breaking News Wahala, and I'm always joined by Chimerez Henry Awunaya in our Toronto studios in Canada, our honorable producer, co-host of Breaking News Wahala. How are you doing, Chimerez?
Good morning, Mr. Achafu. Happy New Year. I am doing good. I'm doing okay.
Now, moving on into the news. So the news, it's very, very interesting, very complicated. The news is basically that AMARA the Lesbian has been accused of beating her partner. So over like few days ago, Uta, Uya, what's the name of? Please, Chimerez, remind me of the name. But Uya, I think it's Uya. Uya is the name. So unknown to some of us, including me too, that AMARA has been in a threesome couple relationship with she, Uya, and Yinka. 3 of them have been in a threesome relationship, and she and Yinka has always been posting love forever.
Do you know when you like a person so much, you want to go, but you want to carry them and go? Like you want, like the house is burning, the house people are living is burning. So you love yourself, you want to run, but you don't want to leave that person behind there. Yeah. That was literally our story.
Basically deceiving us. I'll call it deceit, because a lot of community members were deceived, thinking they were together forever. I remember I published a post by Pink News. I will try and get that news and post it. By Pink News, I even put them, that AMARA Yinka, a Nigerian couple, defying all odds, fighting the homophobic laws in Nigeria. I'm sure they didn't know what was inside it, that they were not together. It was obviously a threesome couple relationship. But Uya has broken the silence and said that obviously she was, AMARA is very, very harmful, very, very toxic. Anytime she's angry, they will not eat for the entire day. If AMARA is in a bad mood, then the entire house is in a bad mood for the entire day. Until AMARA eats, nobody will eat. Until AMARA sits down, nobody will sit. Or some of shocking revelation that were said, different things. That whenever she gets angry, she shouts the house down. She has even stabbed Yinka before, and she almost died in the hospital. We never knew of that. Just basically everything was just domestic violence and assault in LGBTQI communities. In case I forget anything, Chimerez, you can also add to it. But I think that the main things were just like the fact that Uya was
that's the summary of the whole casala.
Yeah, that's just the summary of it. So it's just basically domestic violence, and accused AMARA the Lesbian of being toxic, of domestic violence, maltreating both she and Yinka, even stabbed Yinka being in the hospital, and Uya has been maltreated a lot of times. For those who don't know who Uya is the director of the movie Ife, that lesbian movie, the popular lesbian movie that was buzzing. She is the director of that movie.
I told my mom first. It took her about a week to come to terms with it, which is short for a Nigerian mother. Every day she asked me so many questions and I answered. She wanted to know what that meant, if I would have kids and all. At the end of each day, she'd tell me how much she loved me.
She beat up boys in my class and anyone who dared bother me. She protected me. And my dad used to call her Ugebewani.
Was it a long journey?
How much bravery did you need when you came out to your mother?
I can't ask you to choose between your happiness and your family, because they mean the same thing to you, and I get that.
Is it too soon to say I might be in love with you?
We're lesbians. This is the perfect time.
So Chimezi, moving to Mina, what are your opinions? In case I forgot anything, you can also add it to. What do you feel about this story?
One, I'm very happy that Uya, the director of Ife, came out to speak, because abuse is something that goes on and you don't realize. It takes you a while for you to come to the realization to say, oh my God, I have been abused. And when you become abused, the first thing that grips you is fear. I'm really happy for her that she's no longer afraid. Knowing the kind of person we've seen Amara portray herself, we know Amara has been, she's an activist. Every activist has this attitude to fight, has this fighting warrior spirit in them. So we obviously know that yes, there will be allegations of abuse, but it's not the allegations of abuse that is the issue here. The issue I have with Amara and her statement and her team is the response from her. I expected, if this allegation came out and she is talking or reporting back or giving you feedback, all I expected from Amara, plain and direct, is I am sorry, things like this happen. Let's walk a way out. Let's resolve this. I will take time to check myself and I will, do what is needful. But Amara responded that how can a 30-year-old woman be crying out abuse?
So yesterday, I was so blank that when Puse reaching out to me that, Amara, don't defend yourself again, start apologizing. I was like, okay, no problem. Everybody's expressing to me how they are hurt. And I'm like, okay, let's apologize. But today I woke up. I was telling my friend that called me last night. I said, I feel like I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm going to know what to do and it's going to be violence. And I woke up today and I was like, yes, you know what to do, my love. Tell your truth. The truth, my own truth will set me free. Let your truth set you free. Mine will set me free. I'm going to go and take a shower. A hot shower, because I deserve that. What was I saying? I'll take a shower. I've not eaten. Yes, I've not eaten, so I have to eat first because I'm shaking. My body is shaking. Then I'll sit down and we're going to talk. I'm glad she has finally spoken her experiences, what she was, how she was in the space we shared. No problem. Now, because before they keep quiet. There are too many things. It's vague, but I was hurting. So like. What videos did I make? So I made several videos about her. What videos did I make? Everybody watch the videos I made about this woman. Well, since we are saying the truth about what happened between us, it's only fair I say my truth, and it's only fair that my own truth at least attempts to set me free. Because you see this cage, no be for me, I no go stay here. Wallahi, no be for me.
A woman endowed with power, a woman endowed with knowledge, So that is where it got me thinking, have we chosen the wrong person to be the face of LGBTQ or the lesbian community? Who are these people who represent us? Are they the people we really know them? Or are they a different set of people once the cameras and the lenses are turned off? Are they the ones trying to play victims while they are abusing others? That is the thing that got me thinking. But at the end of the whole day, an abuse is an abuse. She has deceived us. She was in a true relationship with three different persons. There have been issues in that relationship, and I think they should look for a way to settle their scores off social media and settle it good, because this will either be the downfall of Amara or the uprising of Amara.
I
So there
see.
was one part she was like, Amara saves all the energy for her, that when it comes to her, that Amara
That's
does
normally
not
what.
perform.
That she's attracted to
I was
her.
like, about
No,
me
to,
too.
no, to be honest, the thing I feel like it's very, very shameful. Sometimes people commenting on when you are writing something, the thing that they were talking about, oh, sex, I love the way you have it. Can I booked your flight from from Lagos to Abuja? Come now, I need it. You know the way you like. I said, sometimes commenting, I have shame. It's bad enough that people feel like, oh, we just have random hookup. That's what we do. We just go about having random. The way you guys now portray the relationship,
But
that
but
makes
but
it look
from
like
beginning of the text message to the very end, there was no valuable thing said other than the stabbing and Yinka almost dying. That's one part of the story that's catchy. The other part is them being starved when Amara is angry. But every other thing is sex. You know, the sex part became more like we are like a loose community. When people look at us, I think why people are really, some people are not homophobic, but some people are scared for their children, because the way this community portrays itself, it portrays itself as if there is no other thing to it other than being loose sex, starving, reverent people. And I think we need to start changing those things. And that is why we are trying to change the theory with activism. And I feel this is where Amara, Yinka, and Bimbi or BC or whoever this is in this story fail. They fail to tell Amara, still remember, you are still a public figure. You still represent something. I think you should still have a bit of decency even when it comes to your sexual life. We are not trying to police you or tell you what is right, but there are certain things called principles, and principles is profitable to direct in all ways. A principle man should learn how to control himself. Like there are certain people that even though they off pant or they are naked, though, I cannot be with them because of who I have become, because of where I want to get to, because of the kind of people they are. That is why we say have conversation with people. You don't want to have sex with somebody and tomorrow the person say, he threw me up, he fucked me on the ceiling, we open it here. So,
what is was the fact that I beg, what even makes me surprised, the fact that even now, because of useless stories like this, to me, I call it useless because these stories is not, yes, it's, to me, it's not something that we should even project in the community. Stories like this, people are not even losing it for the community. Even so, says, comments, I can go on and around the comments.
read some of
It
the
be like say this
comments.
ones, it be like say this ones, they don't define visa to go US. Pigs, no one cares about none of you. Queer community, wahala don gas. What a name. You mean the queer community? You mean you are queer, and in addition to this, you are also unstable. Chai, you choose better one, or if you choose better one, what's this? Just bunch of bad this thing. Even this one, Ninda, this year come with positive story. This blog is not for this set of people. Dirty bunch of no even positive comments. Talk about even when, let me read one. There's a particular comment I saw. I said, I beg, make this dirty Amara find where to sit down. Chief liar of the queer world. And are the people where they support this girl, thinking she has the community interest at heart. But no, she's after money, taking the money D. I said, look at what people are.
And see, I support with that comment, because if you have the community interests at hand, you will not do certain things. And there's one. I'm just going to divert a bit. RuPaul's Drag Race. There was one accusation that came during RuPaul's Drag Race of one of the contestants or one of the people in RuPaul's Drag Race in New York that was luring people to sleep with them to give them positions or to give them something in RuPaul's Drag Race. And when that accusation came, RuPaul investigated it and sanctioned. In short, they went to the extent of going back to RuPaul's Drag, re-editing the whole show so that this person does not literally show in RuPaul's Drag Race. That is what we call integrity, dignity, principle. Some of us should, adopt good things. This community should not be about all the bad and ugly and all the nasty things. We should still show that they are reasonable, principled, well-deserved or well-cultured barristers and solicitors and, doctors and other useful... sorry, I'm not saying the rest of the people are useless, but other people that sit in this community with integrity. Over to you, Mr. Chaffo.
For me, I'm going to say it again. People know me, I do not like to pick sides. I will be going to be as neutral as possible. Very, very neutral. First, for me, I feel like until I hear people's both sides of the story, I try not to judge because people have accused people of being toxic in relationships. And when you actually find out, you find out that even the person that they accuse of being toxic is actually the gentle person or actually the calm person in the relationship. So I would not like to jump into conclusions and just paint Amara bad. Like call a dog a bad name just to hang it. But with the entire story that's been given out, if they actually are true, can you hear me? I think
yes.
I'm hanging.
Yes, you're hanging, but I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So, if the story is actually true, then it's actually a shameful thing for Amara, for the lesbian. It's a shameful thing for her. I expected better from her. As an activist, I feel like you should be in a position whereby you are accountable for everything you're doing. You are in a position whereby you are a face of the community. Once you become an icon, for example, there are things that should not be expected from you. There are things that should not be done by you. There are things that you should have let go of the past because as you go older, there's a sense of maturity. But on the other sense, I would like to also ask, we are the question. When you are going into a threesome relationship, what do you expect in that threesome relationship? See, it's one thing I talk about. I said, see, how will I put this? I'm trying to put it in the kindest way possible or in the nicest way possible. Community members should please and please stay away from situations that could show and escalate to be toxic. One of the red flags of going into threesome relationships is that there is bound to be jealousy, jealousy into threesome relationships, and you stepped into it. Questions I would like to ask you here. Number one, did you meet Yinka and Amara together? And then you became, obviously she did. I think now I remember, she said that in her post, that she met them together and she had feelings and Amara told her that she wants to be in threesome relationship and she agreed. I don't think she should have agreed in that kind of threesome relationship, especially when the person is very, very popular. When the person is popular, it brings a lot of storm in it, the eyes to it, different advice, different deals, different parties will come into it. You should have said, no, for example, no, I'm not going to be into it. So even to me, to be honest, to me, I'm trying to put this in my session. I don't know. I'm trying to
I get all your point. Yes, but at the same place, there is still no justification for assault and abuse.
There is no. I'm not just. That's what I said. There's no. That's why I started with just.
Yes, I know.
There's no justification for assault, but sometimes when we see the red flags, let's not walk into it. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Because to be honest, I'm that 1% of that 1% that will always be balanced with things. I said, see, you saw somebody in a relationship.
But wait, let me just jump in there.
Amara admitted that it was abusive. Yeah, Amara admitted that. Hold on, let me just land this point. Amara admitted that it was abusive, it was toxic. That people are even saying that Yinka has been together for 2 years, but it wasn't actually 2 years, it was 4 years. And she admitted the fact that, it was abusive, things got rough, and they were also trying to mend it and know they were in love. Now, obviously, they would have left, but they were in love, different personalities coming together. I'm sure Uya must have heard one or two things that, through this relationship, even people that are inside, they are not balanced. there was enough time for you to shoot back. First of all, you should not even be in that kind of relationship because jealousy is bound to be there. But I just feel like maybe she just felt like, oh, of all people, because people were even asking some questions in the comments. Of all people, you settle for Amara, someone that's in a relationship already. What do you expect? Chimere, carry on, please. Just say what you have to say.
No, I just wanted to say there are threesome relationship or foursome relationship that have been amazing and they understand each other. In short, this is an African thing to be in a polygamy relationship before everything happened. But at the same time, I think you have a great point. Yes, you have a great point there that she should have seen the red flag. And again, the same question still goes back. When she saw the red flag, who did she speak to? What were the necessary steps she took? Why did she just jump into social media and start speaking? Is this just an act of jealousy? These are questions we need to ask. Is this just an act of saying, okay, you don't want me anymore, I'm going to tarnish your image, I'm going to backbite you because I know that this is the strongest weapon I have and that is where your glory comes. So there are so many questions in this Amara, Yinka, and the other said ladies case, which still goes back and boils back that our community needs to start thinking towards the right direction. We need to start holding people responsible for their action. And what Amara is accused of doing and she's admitted is wrong. I think we need to, go back and begin to restricting those parts that have become crooked.
Just final words for me. We live in a community that is being stigmatized, a community that is being bashed. The last thing I would want activists that should know better, Amara, UYAI, Yinka, both of you could have done better. I am ashamed of the truth. I'm going to say my own this thing. Everybody has their own flaws. In a community that is said to be bashed, the last thing we want is very, very unstable relationships. We want relationships that are solid, relationships that can stand. There's nothing wrong in calling things quits. But even the entire foundation of this relationship was extremely faulty. Now, let me just wrap up in reading one quote from Linda Ikeji, said by a user that got the highest like when this story broke. Calm down. Let me just read that quote. To know how he got the highest like on Linda Ikeji. He said, them know if they see by the person. The person said, them even they do threesome. Two people that they claim to love each other doing threesome. This proves that all these people, the queer community, dream about and think about is sex all the time. Their very existence is all about sex, not love. 44 likes, 1 dislike, the highest. This just proves that truly we have to do better as community members. This is not very certain with me. It cannot settle now with me. I felt like we should have done better by not stepping into a threesome relationship because jealousy was meant to bound. And I felt like it just felt like it was just a sex because when I was reading it just felt like everything was cluttered all around sex. Oh, she wanted threesome, she wanted the sex. Anytime I want to have sex, I want to know if she will have sex. Sex. Read the story, read the stories. It was just sex, threesome, wanted other people. Please, this is very, very messy. You guys can do better. You guys should just sort it out. I don't stand for community members facing domestic violence in their relationship. I would never stand for that. I would never support that. But sometimes community members, this was an obvious case that could have been avoided. The red flags were there already, and it could have been avoided. This is a very shameful thing. Imagine this kind of comment getting the highest likes on Linda Ikeji. Very, very shameful. I'm done, and that's just it for Q Talk for this edition. So, guys, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as usual, we always say the truth.